rewiring stress into motivation. So I guess for some people who've gone through a lot in life and they tend to surrender to many things, right? It's okay. It's okay. It's like the technical glitch lah today, right? Um, some people will be stressful already and that gets in the way, right? Okay. But I think that it is easier to shift when it is mental, when it is something that has to do with mental, right? Work, business, it's easier to shift because there are data, there are so many information that we can shift from. But right, especially during this time of adversity, there's just so much happening psychologically, there's just so many happening emotionally, that I guess when things become emotional, stress makes it almost impossible to shift from, right? And that's when we speak about that's when we challenge lah the statement, rewiring stress into motivation. What do you think, Malar?
Right. So first, I'm at a space where I think we need to look at any individual as a whole person. All right. I actually have less appreciation nowadays to look at people as different parts of people, your mental, your emotional, and your physical, because whether we like it or not, we are a combination to be a whole person, right? So and this is really addressing the part of the mind. I mean, you might say that the mind is the most easy or the most difficult, or the emotions are the easiest or the most difficult, right? At this point, I don't think one is easier than the other, because any part of you that you sacrifice, you suffer, right?
There for me. Okay.
Right. So you're not, your mind doesn't move separately from your heart. I mean, it's again, they are labels, right? Your emotions don't happen here, your emotions happen here. Right. but
And
but
vice
so
versa, right?
yeah, exactly. And that's the point. So if you look at yourself as a whole person, then I think it's a lot more easier for you to figure out and say, where is my suffering coming from? Is it an issue of my mind? Is it the way I think? Is it the way I feel? Or is it the way I'm living my life? Is it the way I act? If I am, if I have a calendar which is full, and I'm sinful in this way, right? No, and some of us like feel so great because we're busy, 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 right? You enjoy doing things, you want to do a lot of things. But if you have your calendar fully booked, right? Because you have one activity after another activity after another activity, now your physical stress will affect your emotions and your mental, right? For example, like I actually have some visitors coming over to my place at 4 o'clock. Right now, if and what I did is I did all my preparation in the morning before I came in this morning. Right now, why? Because I said, okay, I know we're supposed to finish at 1, but in case we get delayed, I won't get stressed.
And it happened.
And it happened. So I'm not stressed, right? I'm not stressed at this point because I've done my preparation. I've got my best case scenario and my worst case scenario. But let's say there are also times I'm idiotic enough and I'm optimistic. I will say, the show is supposed to finish at 1. After 1, by the time I come back, it will be 1:15 and stuff like that, right? Now, then, if that happened, by now I would be stressed and I'll be thinking, how do I inform my family? I'm delayed. How do I inform my guests? I'm delayed. So a lot of stress is a combination of a couple of things that's happening all together. That I think is something we undermine and we underestimate. So I like looking at people as first, accept you are a whole person. Emotionally, if you're suffering, your mind is going to be affected, because when you're experiencing difficult emotions, you're not going to be able to think clearly. The same thing, when you're experiencing positive emotion, you're also not thinking clearly, right? You think you're thinking clearly, but you're not thinking clearly. It's when you're very happy, right? That's when you buy expensive stuff sometimes. That's where you give approval. So it's more of looking at things in context. So that's one thing for me. So looking at the person as a whole person. And if you want to be well, you need to be well in all areas of your life. And if you know that well-being is about keeping yourself healthy, be aware of your health in all areas of your life, and know that there will be breakdowns. And when there are breakdowns, you know where to go and how you can manage it back to well-being again. Right? So, for example, if I'm physically stressed, then what I need is physical rest. If I'm emotionally stressed, I need to check which are the emotions that's stressing me up and how can I transform my emotion into positive emotions or more empowering emotions. More than positive, I prefer the word empowering. Right? If it's a mental stress, how am I going to think about it differently? What options am I going to give myself? And I also think in again, it's my opinion, I think there's a spiritual self of the person you are that you don't respect the spiritual side of you, right? Now, if that's important for you, that's another space that you need to respect for your whole self to come together, right? And when you have one breakdown, it's okay. But when your whole self break down, then you have a problem. Mind is not working, emotion is not working, body is not working, right? And usually, when all three not is not working, that's when people go and reconnect with their spiritual self, right? So I think
Yeah.
it's really how you look at it. Number one. Now, number two is the word stress itself. I think it is an abused word. Sikit-sikit you realize
Definitely.
people will say stress. My kids are saying they're stressed. My kids are sometimes saying they're feeling depressed, right?
There's no Wi-Fi. I'm so stressful, mommy.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I think again, we need to give the word the amount of power it deserves, right? So I like to look at stress. Now, what is stress? Scientifically, stress is a space where your system goes into a fight, flight, freeze mode, right? Now, that means your whole system is saying, look here, you're not safe, you need to survive. That means you feel you need to survive. You're not safe, you need to survive, right? Now, all the things that you say that you need to survive, is it really true? No. Have the stress, right? Sendiri carilah, right? Because I'm stressed, for example, because my friend hasn't arrived on time. It's not a do or die situation. Why you want to get stressed? Either you wait or you go. Lah, just make the decision. Just get on with life, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. And say,
Yeah.
for example, I have visited and for whatever reason, if I can't get my meals ready, why do I want to be stressed? I just tell my guests, I'm sorry, I'm delayed. You can either delay your journey or live with it. Lah, at least I'm cooking for you, right? Yeah. And if you can add humor to that, right? I think people are not so bad. People are understanding. I think the problem is we cannot laugh at our own stupidity. We can't laugh at the things that go wrong, which doesn't matter. I'm not saying laugh at everything that goes wrong, right? But there are
Yep.
a lot of things that is only worth a laugh because now you say, okay, I was stupid enough. Next time don't do lah, right? So the next time I have a show, I will say, okay, I need extra time for that.
I
Yeah.
guess is